We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Some of it you gon' like, some of it you better. Tired of hearing fools complaining in barber chairs and beauty shops. By any means possible, the truth.
This is Truth Brothers TV.
Most ridiculous display of my ego.
If Elon has a bad week, we have.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Gage, mother of Ray Stormbreaker, and you're watching Truth Brothers TV. If you're not watching the Truth Brothers, then the truth ain't in ya. I love you guys. Happy Mother's Day from sunny Las Vegas. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Charmel, Devon, the God's mother. If you're not watching Truth Brothers, then the truth's not in you. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
If you're not watching the Truth Brothers,
then the truth ain't king.
Truth Brothers TV. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. What a very special and wonderful show we got set up for you guys. It's a pretty special edition of Truth Brothers to me. I'm Ray.
And I'm Devon.
We are the Truth Brothers. While everybody is getting their seats, give us your customary hello, speak, say hi to the family, and we're going to get this thing going, man. How are you doing, sir?
Well, shit, outside of a couple little hiccups right before I'm trying to get ready to get the show going, man, I'm actually great, man. I can't complain. Glad everybody is going to be able to make it in with us today. Hopefully we getting everybody to come in with us today, because I believe this show is going to carry a lot of weight. I think it's going to be a interesting conversation. I think if everybody comes into this wanting to at least hear the other person's point of view, I think it's going to make an even better show for that reason alone. We got a great person that's going to be joining us in this conversation. It's all around should be a great night for conversation. We just got to have everybody do it. We just, and look, this is not a subject that people can have without it being eventually becoming an emotional, people speaking from a part of emotion. I get that too, but either way it go, y'all, let's do it. I'm in the mood. I hope y'all are too.
No doubt, no doubt. This is going to be a real good one. Everybody, all right, Mo Nice is in the house. What up, what up? This is going to be a very, very special. Oh, there's a new face. Well, hello there.
How are you?
Welcome to the show. This is going to be one where we definitely all want to come together and reason together. I want everybody to say this with me. We're going to reason together. This is a show about a controversial individual.
He's a
the man has been gone for a week now. Actually, he passed just before we came on the air last week. And the only reason we really didn't acknowledge it is because we couldn't substantiate it at the time.
Right. Hardly. But no, I got a few other people that's asking for links. So if I'm looking down, bro, bear with me. Because
all right, well, while you getting them in,
I'm like,
no, cool. While you getting them in, allow me to have the honor of introducing our special guest. You can consider him the third Truth Brother. He is our brother, and it is Chris Smith, the third Truth Brother. What's going on, sir?
Unmute that mic. Get him live. Unmute his mic.
That's me, bro. That's me. That's me. There you go.
Man, they did this in so long. I'm like, shoot, let me brush myself up, get back into this. What's up, brothers? How y'all doing?
How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm telling you, when y'all said y'all wanted to do this show, bro, I was super excited. So I'm happy to be on. Glad to be talking about this. I'm hoping everything you was telling them a couple of minutes ago, remove your feelings, be willing to listen, because there's a lot of stuff we're gonna try to show you. So hopefully you got your ears open tonight. But either way, you're gonna hear it. So
you're gonna hear it. Open your hearts, and don't be afraid to speak your piece. Tony is in the house. How you doing? She gonna make sure we stay on the up and up.
She might cancel us.
Especially after this.
Canceled after this.
Hey, they gonna be typing y'all name in the search bar. Right. Ain't nothing gonna come up.
Right. All of a sudden we gonna go down.
I got some jokes that's a little bit too early to make right now, so I'm gonna leave that alone. It's too early for some of these jokes. So, but before we dive into this, let's because I want to make this clear about how we.
Go ahead.
I want to make something perfectly clear. A couple of things. One, me and this brother to my on the screen to my left, left on the screen, right on me. We've done a lot of shows about women, and we've done shows. How you doing, Miss Hall? We've done a lot of shows where we actually a few weeks back we did the myth of the black woman, and we did nothing but praise black women. We also not because we were doing this show, we put our mothers, who I know Big Bro respects, who they're like, bro, no, I love my mom. He loves his mom. We put them in our intro to celebrate the beauty of a woman.
I love that, by the way. I just want to say that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure that, and we did not do that with the intent of trying to get any brownie points. That's not what me and bro are about. We just do celebrate women because of it. So I did want to give that disclaimer out real quick because we're going to say some things that may make people think that we're negative towards black women, and that's not the case. That's all I wanted to say.
I'm gonna challenge that because I don't think we're gonna say anything that's negative towards any woman, but it is going to be some points where what we do like to do on this show is to hold up a mirror and ask you to look at the reflection, and then you have to weigh it out for yourself. We've done tons of shows. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, I honestly don't think it should be that hard. Like I was telling you, earlier, it's just a lot of emotions. Drop all your emotions right now. You are here to have some fun, to listen, to see it from a different perspective. So put your guards down. Be willing to try to see where we're coming from. Nothing is gonna come disrespectful because if you've been watching the show, that's how these brothers operate. They don't do stuff like that. They only bring. That's why the show is called True Bros. So at the end of the day, remove those feelings and be willing to try to see it from a different perspective. That's all I want to say on that part.
And we're not saying that our perspective is the only perspective.
Nope.
Why we're calling this a look at a life is we're going to try to look at the man's life rather objectively and try to see if we can see some discernible patterns as to how he operated and how he moved the way he moved. Because most controversial figures, just because you're controversial doesn't mean you're bad.
Right.
Malcolm X was a controversial figure. Martin Luther King was a controversial figure. Minister Farrakhan is a controversial figure. There's tons of people who are controversial. Hell, Derrick Jackson is a controversial figure. And again, when we did a show going in on him, at the same time when we did that, we didn't say that everything that brother said was wrong. We talked about his method to his madness, and we went in and critiqued the way he went about handling his commentary. And we let the chips fall where they may. Last year, we did do a show on Kevin Samuels. We called it Kevin Samuels, Man or Monster. And we just tried to objectively lay out how he get down and how he do things, because at that time, he was on the rise. And we try to just objectively look at it and try to call it down the line at how we might see it.
Right. So, and with that being said, let's really dive into this, man, because I'm ready to jump into it. And like I said, I'm at a point now I really can't care less about a lot of opinions and things that's going to come out about this. And I don't want it to seem like I'm being combative, but I'm really just want to go in onto it.
Okay.
You want to kick it off with a clip or what? Because
no, let me set up something. And Nick, hey Nick, what's going on, brother? We ain't seen you in a minute, man. How you doing, brother? I want to get into something. A lot of people went in on this guy and talked about his show as if he wasn't successful. The man had over 1 million followers. Now
1.4.
every week on this show, we thank you guys because, Chris, if you don't know, our popularity is growing exponentially. Our views on our page is growing like hotcakes. And I love this network. I love the Hot Topics network. But a little fact, what that brother drew in viewerships dwarfs us 7 times over. Mm-hmm. And we've been doing this for a hot minute. This network has been around for a hot minute. So the man wasn't successful. The man wasn't not successful. The man was a multi-millionaire. Mm-hmm. And the podcast and this thing is I don't want to call it a hobby, but that ain't what's buttering his bread. Just like Truth Brothers isn't what's buttering our bread. Brother, you got a day job?
Absolutely.
I got a day job.
You know I do.
And again, every shirt that we have produced and that we have given out to our listeners, we put the bill on. We have no sponsors. We foot the bill on everything that Truth Brothers do. Everything that we try to do to promote this show and this network, we put in our own blood, sweat, and tears. That's what this man did. Mm-hmm. Have far more resources than we do. We'll get into the high value man, but he was a high value man. I don't consider myself a high value man according to his definition. We'll get into that. That doesn't mean that you're a bum.
Right.
We have to get into the terminology and how he was coming at things when he was breaking down his definitions. Now, with that being said, brother, how you want to jump into this?
We can actually jump into it. We need a starting off point. So you pick the clip, we can go from there.
Not a problem. All right, I want to go into people's comments and how they felt about him passing. Ladies first, I'm going to go into Vivica Fox comments, and then I'm going to go into another brother who does what we do, Jeremy Holloway. We'll go into his after that. So check this out.
This man was a hypocrite, in my honest opinion. He really was. I didn't find anything about him to be healing. He insulted African-American women on a consistent basis. One of his last statements that he said was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable. To me, it was a shock jock. And, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma that you put out, the negativity that you put out in the world, that when karma comes knocking at your door, she might not be so kind. So, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Patty ass.
That was going on, man. I think I gotta talk about this.
Here we go with Jeremy's comments.
I was not a supporter of Kevin Samuels. I also made a few videos responding to some of the things I saw him say that came across my timeline that I disagreed with. And I took a lot of those videos down because I was wrong when I did more research. And I apologize to Kevin Samuels. OG, you got it. I was wrong. You right. Boom. I said it to say he passed away in so much negative energy this man is getting. People are happy. They say people. There's women clapping in the comments. That's what you get in the comments. Maybe if you wasn't talking like this, you would still be. All these negative comments. Like, that's what we are in society. All because he was giving his opinion. He wasn't committing no crime. He wasn't committing no crime. He was giving his opinion, and he was not forcing you to watch. He wasn't forcing none of the women to call him. He wasn't forcing nobody to do nothing. He was giving his opinion and giving statistics on what's happening in the black community. And he passed away, and women responses is to be happy? What we doing? Now, you didn't have to watch him. I didn't watch him. I don't, maybe I was raised the right way or something. When did we get in society where y'all are happy, clapping, rejoicing that somebody else passed away? Like, what y'all on? Like, we gotta do better, bro. We gotta do better. Shout out to Kevin Samuels and his family, man. You know what I'm saying? I know they're probably going through it right now. But man, we gotta do better, y'all. Y'all be cool.
All right. Really quickly, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I want to address Vivica Fox first. I'm only addressing, man, I ain't giving no disclaimer. I'm addressing Vivica Fox first. Vivica Fox called that man a hypocrite and said he was basically a shock jock, right? Mm-hmm. You know who else was a shock jock? Wendy Williams. Whoa. But you want to know what's funny about that? You want to know the hypocrisy of that? Whose show is Vivica Fox taking over for right now? Wendy Williams.
Yep.
Now, Wendy Williams is a shock jock who's made a living off of quote unquote spilling people's tea or being destructive,
putting out unsubstantiated gay rumors with people who broke up with you.
Right. You did all that, and now Wendy Williams had at a certain point the #1 daytime talk show who beat out Ellen DeGeneres.
Yep.
Did y'all know that?
Mm-hmm.
She beat out Ellen DeGeneres for a #1 daytime talk show. But she gets applauded for destroying homes, spreading people's personal business. Because call me mistaken, but I never heard Kevin Samuels put anybody's personal business out there. I've heard people volunteer their personal business.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never heard him give it up. But how is it that Wendy Williams, a very polarizing, controversial figure, can have a #1 daytime talk show doing what she does, but Kevin Samuels is the devil for giving his opinion about what he does? Now, again, Vivica Fox, I'm passing you because you called that man a shock jock and called him a hypocrite when you are supporting the shock jock and backing up a person who you say that makes you a hypocrite. That's just my opinion.
And been used like a jock strap her damn self in her career.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying we're gonna keep that real.
It's a slippery slope. I want to keep things balanced. I also want to go into Jeremy Holloway. Yeah. Jeremy Holloway has been doing what we've been doing pretty much on the level that we've been doing it on for a number of years now. He also would put together a lot of skits that would attack a certain situation. Some situations made women look good in relationships. Some situations made men look good in relationships. He did it with another sister. This sister was a bigger sister. I can't think of her name right now, but I absolutely loved her. I follow her on Instagram, and when she got proposed to, I was happy for her. She's getting a lot of acting roles now and doing a lot of plays due to this brother right here. And he used her. He didn't worry about her size. He didn't worry about her color. He didn't worry about none of that. And this man heard some stuff from Kevin Samuels. Didn't agree with what he was saying, but the man did his due diligence, and whatever it is he looked up, he found out he was in error, went back to this dude and said, hey man, you know what? I looked it up. You're right. You got it, and kept it moving. Like he said, he's not a fan of Kevin Samuels. I got a secret for y'all. It's not that we're fans of Kevin Samuels. We just see some serious hypocrisy in the way that this man's death is being treated 1 week into him passing.
I think,
I'll tell you one of the most craziest things. I was listening to the Breakfast Club after I found out, and it was on YouTube. And it was crazy because, they spend their careers pretty much doing the same thing on everybody else's lives as well. and they were real cold about it. Just more like, well, you know, YouTube influencer has passed, and I mean, we never want to wish death on anybody. And it was just kind of cold how they were just like delivering it, like as if he just wasn't a person that was just speaking his mind, speaking his truth. You know, one thing I'll tell you is, it's just like you said earlier, they volunteered their personal information. You know, we'll talk about how open and candid he was, but yet people were coming on there every single night just to hear that, just to get that. It's not like when you came on his show. It's not like when you came on his show, you didn't know what you were getting. Exactly. You know, one of the things I'll tell you is, and I want to point out so I can separate the two, you know, his thing is to help people's lives and to help them become better. That's men and women. You know, I felt like at times I wanted him to go a little bit harder on men, but at the same time, I kind of understood, because the odds is always stacked up against us. They always feeling like they got to tell us what we should be doing, how much money we should be making, how we should be looking. So it was kind of nice for once to see that people was going in on women and not just making it be a focus on us. But, you know, one thing I'll separate, just this last thing, that show is exactly what it is. It's a show. He also helped people and counseled people on a side life, and that's more private, where it's treated and done different. So when I say that, I'm trying to get you to understand this was all for entertainment. He did exactly what he needed to do to get those numbers up. And I'll tell you, you think he hurt those people's feelings like that? Obviously not, because his followers kept getting higher and higher.
Here's the issue, and I'm glad you mentioned the men thing, because that was a constant knock on him, that he don't go in on men. Here's the problem. We have a tendency to see exactly what we want to see, because there's numerous clips of him digging into men. And boy, do we have some.
Yeah.
So let's find out, when we do these one about men, let's see if he tiptoe around the men and coddle them and cuddle them at the way, and not go in on them the way he did women.
Well, I was going to tell you, that didn't start until later. When he first started, he was only doing women. And that's where I got disappointed.
Actually,
no, he started doing men first.
He was going on men first. He was going.
And that's when he was with that men's group. Yeah, you're right.
But here's the crazy part. Back when Kevin Samuels' hair wasn't gray and he was dark, and he was basically doing what Derek Jackson was doing in his car, he was doing in his car, all he did was really go in on men. Then he took the stuff further and got on Zoom and started going on men. But Kevin Samuels found a niche. He was like, yo, don't nobody care if I talk about men. Because women don't care if you talk about men. Men really don't care if you talk about us, because we really don't give a damn. But you know who cares? Women do. So if I say anything towards a woman, it's going to spark something. Now, here's the thing. It's not like he picked up and said, let's just start picking on women. He said, if a woman calls me, I'm going to give my opinion, which is what if somebody called this show right now and said, yo, I want to go live with the Truth Brothers and Chris, we're going to give our opinion. That's just it. So if we go in and go bad on the person, and then after that, they decide to call back, don't they know what they signing themselves up for? How many times, bro, real quick, how many times before we did a show, we would tell people, hey, man, listen to our show before you go on and get on with us.
Every guest we've ever gotten
who come on this show know how we will go in on religion, know how we will go in on politics, know how we will go in on relationships, know how we will go in on men, know how we will go in on women, know how we will go in on the LGBTQ community. We go in on it all. So if you feel away, this may not be the show for you. And that's all we were saying. In Kevin's case, if you're going to feel away about what he says, that might not be the show for you. Turn from it.
Everything ain't for everybody, but let's keep something in mind. Nature abhors a vacuum. First off, he came in, he was doing a thing in the car just like Derek Jackson was doing a thing in the car. Let's get something straight. Over here, Derek Jackson got the whole sitting in the car giving his commentary thing on lock. I don't need to be doing it. Chris, you don't need to be doing it. Devon, you don't need to be doing it. He's got the car thing on lock. Kevin tried to come in and do that, and that didn't work. So what he did, by him understanding marketing and understanding the nature of the beast, he settled in and found a way to settle in on the opposite side of this cat. And eventually during his rise, that was the thing. He became the antithesis to Derrick Jackson. And that was just smart marketing. Again, you may not like the dude, you want to call him the devil, that's terrific, but that's smart marketing. Because right now, Truth Brothers don't fit in nowhere. We don't fit in nowhere. And we're trying to find that. And we've been doing this way longer than him, and he slid right in and found a niche. I can't knock the man for that.
I don't knock nobody's hustle.
No,
like I said, we knew Derrick. Like we always said that Derrick Jackson was pandering to women. We said this. Hold on, I want to read Lauren's comment real quick. Straight out of bounds with what Vivica Fox said. All the brother did was share some jewels for men of all color. We agree. But bro, you was getting ready to say something about when we was talking about Kevin Samuels actually going in on men. I think I know where you was going with that. So go ahead, because here's the crazy part. It's not like we just got one, and y'all can say, "Oh, that's one." Bro,
brothers up.
So in other words, like Kevin Samuels would say, this is not an outlier. This isn't anecdotal evidence. This is a sample size of what he normally did on a regular basis. So here's a little gem of Kevin going in on dudes.
I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I respect you. That's why
that just shows you how low your social skills are. He knows what he's talking about. You still, all right, motherfucker, go into $80,000 of debt. Go get you a financial analyst job. Make $50,000 a year. You still a $50,000 a year, 300-pound, 5'10" virgin.
I kind of disagree with some of the things you're saying.
How old are you?
20.
How many men do you work with or coach?
None.
Okay. Why does your opinion matter?
Everyone's opinion is valid.
No, it doesn't. No, guys. This is the young men we're talking to. Notice that the 20-year-olds are the ones that have all the pushback and the feelings.
You're coming off as if I have no problem with self-improvement. I'm a firm believer in self-improvement amongst all.
Right.
But at the exact same time, just hate how you just going on men all day.
I'm not going in on men. So you're telling me how I'm coming off, but I'm coming off with what I know. If it's real, what difference does it make how it's coming off? That's your feelings. 2 + 2 is 4, no matter how you feel about it. So when you say you feel like I'm coming down on men, you feel like I'm doing this, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know.
Context out there. I'm a guy who believes in choosing signals. And I never get that.
Hold on. You don't get to believe in choosing signals. That's some YouTube shit. You 20 years old. Tell me about when you were 16, 18, and why you didn't approach a woman. You don't get choosing signals. Choosing signals are for select men. Choosing signals are for alpha males. You're not that. Let's get there right now. Tell me about when you stepped to a woman and she rejected you.
But I've
opened
up to a conversation.
There you go. You never actually stepped to a woman. The problem ain't women. The problem is you.
Well, what do you know? The devil sat there and said that it was a dude's fault. Who knew?
They're not hearing that. They didn't seen too many clips already.
Hold on. You know what?
Seen clips.
You know what? Fuck that. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. Fuck that. No, bro. No. Because I'm sick of the bullshit.
Oh. Wait, we got some comments before we go to the other one.
Bring all that shit in, man. Bring all of it.
Bring it all.
Sure, if you call steaming pals a misogyny jewels, the only thing I'll give him is maybe is discussing financial stability and planning. But yeah, he just went in.
Then those are jewels. Those are jewels that matters to you. But what he just told them brothers needed to be said.
Yes, it did.
Anyone who believes in that disproven alpha male BS is lost to me. Why is it disproven?
Yeah, well then,
Yeah,
I hate to tell you, I must be lost to you because I promise you I'm an alpha male and I've come from a long line of alpha males. My daddy is an alpha male. My grandfather is an alpha male. And if you don't know what an alpha male is, let me regale you of a little tale. One of my aunts, and for my grandfather, he had 6 daughters. 6. The only male that came into the family first was me. So I am between his youngest daughter and me. We're 7 years apart. So me and my aunt, the youngest aunt, we're 7 years apart. So I was more like the youngest son than the oldest grandson. There is a wide gap between me and my cousins. Like I dwarf my cousins in age by a long way because my mother was the oldest and I was the first grandchild. Okay. So one of them in high school had got in trouble and got arrested. This is a young black teenager, a young black female in trouble with the law, got to go to court in Chicago in the goddamn 60s. And she's in there with all the other kids who, when their case come up, my grandfather walked in the court, walked past the bailiff, walked past the public defenders, walked up to the judge, pulled the white man down, said something in his ear, and flashed some type of Mason symbol, I don't know, grabbed his daughter and walked out. That's a goddamn alpha male.
Well, look, and I was going to tell you, I'm a Kevin Samuels, that situation she tried to pull right there. Because, here we go once again. We talking about how society is weak and how they read too much into things. What she right there tried to do is basically say how another man shouldn't treat another man. But see, if you understood how males and how alpha males work with other alpha males, those are the type of things we do. We do have to check each other from time to time. It's done in all the time. So the funny thing is, that's where we have to correct you because, see, you spoke on that, but see, you're actually out of context because you don't understand that field. And that's the area, that gray area, we trying to get you to understand where he comes from time to time. Not saying that we agree with everything that he says, but there's
I don't agree with everything that he says.
Missing. But there's a lot of messages that you guys are getting because you're choosing it to see it your way, but you're out of your lane.
Shall we go on? We gonna go on to part 2?
There's more.
More male bashing coming up.
It was terrible.
Okay, when? How long ago was it?
About 4 years ago. She cheated on me.
Did you guys have sex?
No.
Okay. Are you still a virgin?
Yes.
Okay. This is trauma. Have you dated anyone since then?
No, I've not.
To be fair to judge all of womankind based on what one 15-year-old woman did 5 years ago.
No.
Right. So when you start telling me how women aren't this, women aren't that, I'm telling you, you have not had enough experience with women to know anything. So why haven't you tried? Just
can't trust them.
Mad and anger is the easiest emotion, but it doesn't get you anywhere. If you told your father what you just said, he'd be proud of you?
Probably not.
Who are socially awkward, choose to step out of their comfort zone. They have to be in social situations to do that. Right?
I don't understand what you're asking.
The ultimate point is the cycle.
Are you socially awkward? Right. So you're socially awkward. So how do you think this conversation has flowed?
Smooth as water.
All right. If you honestly believe it has flowed smooth as water, it explains why you're in the position you're in now.
No, it does not.
Yes, it honestly does. You're a socially awkward, sarcastic asshole, and that's cool. That's why no one likes you. Interactions with human beings are not supposed to be this contentious. No one likes to sit around and deal with an asshole. especially an asshole who's socially awkward who thinks he's funny. That shit may work on with your action figures and your comic books, but it doesn't work in the world.
All right.
Sound like it is.
Sound like more than Jules. And take it from an asshole, he's not wrong.
No, he's not.
Dude, that's the one thing we've set up here, and I'm trying to keep this thing. Hopefully this thing don't keep, because I'm having a little issue here. But here's the one thing I'm having an issue with is that man has never not said and not went in and said men, called men on their shit. It's just nobody. Like, I remember I was on CC's show, and she had said that nobody pushes his shit when he's talking about men. I'm like, you're right, because y'all are the biggest consumers when it comes to this social media thing. Y'all make people famous, not us. Like I said, it was not men that made Steve Harvey's book the #1 bestseller. It was y'all.
Nope.
And you didn't care that he plagiarized it off of a black woman. That never bothered you. Never.
So, the thing is, when you feel like that he was going in on men, where are the women there saying that, though, he's too tough on that dude by calling him a fat virgin and all this? Where were the women there?
I haven't heard any of those kind of comments.
That's what I don't get. I'm a little confused. But Sean says, no, that's not it. That's not what I was trying to do or say. So I gotta say the nay to the man, I guess, mansplaining.
Again, no one's mansplaining. If you did not break it down correctly and we misinterpreted it, we're not mansplaining how you felt. We just took what you said and then we made our comments. See, that's that feminist crap that if we can't talk to one another. Now, if we misunderstood where you was coming from, that's cool, because we're gonna probably say some stuff that you're not gonna catch, but you're not woman-splaining it to us if you say, hey, no, I don't get where you coming at there, or I disagree.
The way I looked at it, the way she said mansplaining, is almost like she felt like he just could have said it in a different manner. But that's why I said, coming from a woman, that's like I said, man to a man, that's its own category. So you just leave that alone. You stay out of that. You know, from this whole woman's perspective, you know, like I said, instead of wanting to challenge things more often, be willing to listen. I always tell everybody, our biggest problem is we want to tell somebody they wrong immediately. We don't want to listen. We don't want to try to understand. We just want to tell them they wrong immediately so we can get our point across.
Everybody knows something. Your gender and your genitalia does not dictate your intelligence. There are women physicists that I actually love. I love seeing them on the Discovery Channel. They be breaking it down. There's brothers on there that be breaking it down because I love astronomy. I love physics and stuff like that. I don't see a woman go up there and explain something and start rolling my eyes and saying, oh, well, look at her breasts. What could she possibly know? Right. I've worked for many women who are very good in their field. And it has nothing to do with your genitalia and the fact that you have periods. It has nothing to do with that.
Well, hold on. And I didn't understand why you guys didn't point this out about Vivica Fox. Did you catch the jab in there about, and we don't even know what race the woman was? You see that bullshit?
Yeah, no, we let that go because it's actually irrelevant. You're stuck on stupid. You're stuck on stupid. It doesn't matter who he was sleeping with, who he chose to sleep with. And I know we're not going to say nothing about that because we've already covered that on too many shows last month. So we're not going there. The man slept with whoever he wanted to sleep with because you know what? That's his right.
That's right.
We got a lot of comments, and we're gonna get them through all before we go to the next. Go to the next. You all right there, bro? Devon's over there real quiet. I think he froze.
Look,
up.
I was like, yeah, my man deep in thought. But shoot, keep it rolling. Look at them.
Yeah, we got a lot of great comments. Oh, I think she's saying I'm not an asshole. Yes, I am, but I love you.
Hey, the first thing is to admit it. Once you admit it, that's half the battle. I know I'm an asshole, and I hold that very good, dear to my heart.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. When brother come back on, he gonna tell you, yeah, we're professional assholes. That's what we do. That's how this show got started. It got started by us being assholes.
Look, I told him, I said in the movie roles, I just pick up my script, the asshole role. I just pick up my script and what we doing today. How we moving about today?
Yeah, she said that she stated an opinion, not a fact. He said he said I meant something in a particular which wasn't what I meant. That's cool. That's cool. And that's all good. But just this Truth Brothers. So it's Truth Brothers show. But we're not mansplaining anything. We just talking about how we feel, and everybody, as usual, everybody's opinions is wanted and validated here. Whether we agree or disagree, we're not going to get disagreeable. So even if we don't agree with what you're saying, trust me, I'm gonna go back and I always rewatch these shows. So I'm gonna think about what you said. I'm gonna think about how I said it. Maybe I can come off better next time in saying something, because I don't the Kevin Samuels way of going about things, I don't think that's gonna work for me, because that's not the approach. I don't come off the way he do. His delivery and the way that he chose to host his show worked for him. Some people are good at that. Howard Stern is good at that, but some people, it don't come off right. I'm a dude. I'm built like what's his name on Good Morning America?
Shoot, I know you're talking
with
about
the gap in his teeth. Football player.
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan that's a good brother. He's a good dude. But if he came off like Kevin Samuels, it's not going to be taken the same.
No, not
it just ain't going to come off the same.
And that's why I was saying, like, even I like the dialogue that's going back and forth right here, because even though there's a level of not understanding, it's still the conversation back and forth. You go to most women, when you have this back and forth, you're going to get a bunch of crazy stuff said back. But she's actually trying to have
no one
dialogue.
accused Vivica Fox of being the brightest bulb in the box, which is true. But again, none of us is the brightest bulb in the box. At the same time, Vivica Fox does a lot of good. She got a lot of great projects going on. She's got a comedy tour that she does. One of our sisters, Jess Nash, she's our sister. We know her. She's blowing up because of her affiliations with Vivica Fox. So nobody is totally evil. Nobody is totally good. I don't have to agree with Vivica Fox, but I can still see the value in some of the stuff that she does. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but I'm just not cool with how she came off. You know, like I said, anytime we can come off cold to somebody's death. And, you know, I mean, like I said, she obviously was struck the wrong way. And I get it. It happens. But at the end of the day, that's how you got karma fucked your ass up too. That's what happens in life.
Look,
but I don't wish
her whole relationship with 50 Cent didn't exactly go great. Someone who dated her could say that was karma. Nobody knows.
But at the end of the day, just be respectful. In death, we just always want to be respectful, regardless of.
And y'all check out Shara. So let me get something straight. And I love this sister right here. First off, she's one of the smartest people I know. Now I'm mansplaining because I didn't say one of the smartest women I know. She's one of the smartest people I know. Like if they ever cast an X-Men, she should be Professor X because she's just that damn smart. You all right, bro?
Hell no, man. Goddamn
Vivica after you, man.
Yeah, everybody trying to kick me off because my opinions don't matter. That's what it is. Because I'm out here with the bad t-shirts on and whatever, man. So they kicked me off. Y'all good. Y'all held it down. I saw.
Oh yeah, we held it down. See, my brother Mo there is confirming Ray is an asshole, but that's my brother.
Dude, like, look, at the end of the day, bro, we know. The thing is, we know we assholes. We every time we know it. It's trust me. It's people watching this show of the opposite sex that can tell you for a fact that we assholes, and we'll just say, hey. Yeah.
Notice we protecting you, Chris. We won't let you get in on any of that.
Hey, we flock together. Like I said, I wish somebody else can come up and say that. Because like I said, I wake up and I go to sleep. Same asshole, no matter what time of the day.
She said
the only thing is you get a truthful asshole.
There you go.
Says he uses trigger.
Devon froze up again.
Yeah. And at the same time, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I mean, he might have. I mean, I can see where she's coming from if you think that he used to trigger his audience to become popular. But there's a saying in this industry that controversy creates cash, and that's how it is. He wouldn't be the first person used to trigger people to become more popular. Rush Limbaugh perfected it. And the only thing, if there was somebody that you should have been happy that died, that Rush Limbaugh is your enemy. Kevin Samuels is not your enemy.
He's not. And here's
Clarence Thomas is your enemy.
But if
Kevin Samuels is not your enemy.
But if you watch the shows, you gotta pay attention. And I don't mean the whole show, because I'm gonna tell you, sometimes those shows is long-winded, a lot of bullshit being talked on there. But what I'm explaining to you is that in moments where he's talking to these certain individuals, there's a lot of dumb shit being said throughout the whole time. And finally, when he gets tired, that's when he do his rundown. That's when he knock your ass down, and he's done. He's tired. And that's why I said you got to watch the whole part, not just clips. You got to see the whole segment with that person, because then you begin to understand some of the dumb shit that they say.
Some of the stuff that he does, first off, his clips, because there was other people making his clips, other people using their channel to make his clips. He put it into it. He started making his clips, and his clips ranged anywhere between 10 minutes to 40 minutes, but he dealt with his clips were one caller, how he dealt with this one particular caller when he made his clips, so that you can get the totality of that conversation. So you don't have to wait through a 2-hour show if you didn't want to, but you're not going to get no 10-minute clip of just some randomness. You get his conversation from where he said hello to where he says goodbye. And then that's how it's just so happened that I had started chewing through some of his content, because I just started analyzing the dude. And for the past 3 weeks, I happen to have been listening to his stuff. Some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't. And we're gonna get into some of that once Devon comes back. But he definitely had a method to his madness. Number one, he's going to ask.
You damn right. And don't you forget.
There it is. There it is. The brother, first thing he asked them is he's going to determine what you're calling for, what you're looking for. And since it's a relationship show, 9 times out of 10, they're asking about a relationship question. So he starts getting into it. He asks you, he finds out about them. He finds out what they do. And then once he starts getting around to what they want, once they start hedging around, then he goes into his questions. Well, how old are you? He gets their age. He says, how many children do you want? They say how many children they want. Then he says, okay, how much, sometime he'll get into how much you make at that point. But he'll ask, what are you looking for in a man?
No, hold on. Don't forget that key question. That question of, so how many kids do you want? Do you want to work after you have all of these kids?
Yes, exactly. He's trying to determine what you're looking for in a relationship. Once he's got all of that, that's when he goes into what's your dress size. And for some people, I understand how that would bother somebody. When he gets into why? Because for some people, dress sizes doesn't matter. Some women believe that dress sizes doesn't matter, but some dudes believe that dress sizes doesn't matter. But he does have a method to why he's asking this. So then he'll get into and ask you, how much do you weigh? Then he asks, how old are you? Then he asks, well, based upon how many kids you want, do you plan on working after you have the kids? Some of them say that they don't plan on working when they have kids. Some say, well, I'm going to wait till they're about 5-year-old before I enter the workplace again. Then he says, okay, so you expect a man to be able to hold a household down with you and X amount of kids. Let's just say they wanted two. So the three of you guys, you want him to hold y'all down, and that means, where do you live? He finds your geographic location. Then he says that man needs to make X amount of dollars in order to hold y'all down. Then he says, then they mention how they want a high value man. And then he gets into the high value men. Now let's talk about the high value men for a second before we go any further. Let's talk about the high value men. The show Saturday on CC show, she mentioned that a high value man means that Kevin Samuels wasn't a high value man like he said he was, because he was caught doing cocaine when he died with a woman in the crib. That's not what a high value man is. That's not what he's talking about. He's calling a high value man the top 1% of money earners. And then he says, I'm not talking about black men. I'm not talking about white men. I'm not separating whether they're gay, straight, or whatever. He said, I'm talking about 1% of men. And what he was trying to show you is that most of the time, a lot of these women who call the show, not people listening to Truth Brothers, not people on this network, not any other woman out there, but who he's talking to on that show, those women are looking for a dude that is making high six figures and don't want to work. Some of them are middle-aged. Some of them are very young. It's a wide swath of women that he talks to. And then he breaks down how your expectations of wanting some dude that makes six figures, you want him to take you and then hold down the kids that you want to have if you don't have any kids. But then he'll get into, but you might come with some kids. So then he's saying, you expect a dude that's making these high six figures, a high value man, to all of a sudden want to hold down you and somebody else's kids.
And they don't get
an image consultant. His clientele are these dudes, and he said that these are my clientele. They tell me what they want because that's what his profession was. That's how he made his millions, not by the podcast. That's how he made his millions. So he was very good at what he does, and he says that most of these dudes do not want to take you and your children and deal with some other dude in some other abusive relationship that you have been in and take on all of your stuff. You want a dude that has reached the end of that at his highest earning potential and has already made it. You don't want to work with a dude and grow together. You want a dude at the end of the rainbow, and that's where 90% of the conflict come in. And then he'll ask you, well, do you want a dude that make $40,000 a year? Because he'll tell you that's what the average black man makes in America, $40,000 a year. And then they will say no. And now the fun begins.
Man, look.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sitting here and I'm reading some stuff that's going into this, like that, and some other stuff that I'm sitting here reading. And why are we bullshitting, man? Why are we bullshitting? Let's be 100 here.
Yeah, Pepper say he was a goddamn clown.
Yes,
that's cool. Who's taking his advice? That's cool. Look, when you want to keep them all coming in, because we can get to them all when we done. Because this is
okay.
Dress size, kids, income, so-called, education, so on. Look, well, matter of fact, we bullshitting, man. Because
let's just go to the clip where he's talking to a woman.
No, real quick. Before we even get to that, we bullshit because at the end of the day, we're sitting here acting like we live in this world that we don't live in the world that Kevin Samuels described. Why are we pretending like we don't live in that world? Everybody, I don't care who you are, and the women, some of the women that I see coming through with this act it's coming off like holier than thou to me, because it's coming off like, oh no, this, and this. But you live in the exact same world that man described, because if it was flipped, it will work for you. And that's the only time you don't want to accept it is when it don't work in your favor. This is wrong, bro. This ain't right because we not being truthful. And that's what's bothering me. We come in here every week and we always say, men do this, men do that, men are fucked up when they do this. We call our bullshit. I'm asking, when are the women seriously? Now, I'm not saying all, because there are no absolutes when it comes to this. When are women going to say, you know what? You right. That was on me. That was my bad. I fucked up. When does that come into
And what's interesting that you say that is because that's all really he tries to get people to do is to take accountability. So he had a funny clip that I was looking at a long time ago, and he was talking to this woman, and he had basically told her, like, look, like, I know you at this stage of your life, you don't think you're going to give up the box. Like, girl, you ain't holding out on me. And she was like, I ain't got to give it up. What you talking about? Like, I get to control my box. You going to wait. He was like, you didn't wait, and you had 2 babies by 2 other men, so why do I got to wait? And it was funny because he didn't get that.
The women who decided to have 3 kids and now go celibate and now wants a man making $150,000 a year. Yes,
but the only thing is they only heard him say, nah, I get to have your box because I want it. But they didn't hear the message he was really trying to push behind that. And that's the part that kills me.
That's the part that blows me because I'm sitting here trying to understand. How is it that it don't make sense when you know how many of y'all will sit up with your girl and tell you, girl, he ain't gonna want you when you doing this, that, and third, but let a man say it. It's wrong. I thought truth spoken from anybody, it don't matter if it's still truth. I don't get that. Look,
we did a show when we first came back on. We did a show and we went in on Steve Harvey's 90-day rule. And the women on that show all agreed that the 90-day rule is a farce. But you're not going to sit, but you don't like Kevin Samuels as a personality, but you don't want to hear the truth in what he's saying. Look, I don't make $150,000 a year, but I got news for you. I don't make $40,000 a year either. But I don't consider myself a high value man. I don't. I just consider myself a dude. I'm just a dude. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to meet you at 45 and you tell me you're celibate and then you say we going to have this relationship together. Yes, I will go out with you. If I like you, we're going to have a good time. But if you don't think that I ain't getting something on the side, you're delusional. You can be as celibate as you want. I'm not going to press you for anything. Be celibate. Enjoy yourself. But just because you're celibate don't mean I'm going to be. So do you.
How many one thing? Hey, oh, my bad. Go ahead, Chris, because I was sure that I got a point to that one, what bro just said.
Because I was going to say, one of the things people been tripping off lately is he had made a statement as after you turn 35, you're pretty much the pick of the litter. Like you're the last. Yeah. And a lot of people been upset with that, but I'm going to break that down a little bit. At the end of the day, what he means is at that stage, once you pass 35, you've been married and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, you're no longer appraised at that same value that you were in your early 20s and in your mid 30s because you've done a lot within your life. So at the end of the day, anybody that sees a woman in her 30s and 35 and 40 and up, they're thinking there's got to be something wrong with you because you wouldn't still be single now if it wasn't. You see what I'm saying? But they look at it like he's tearing them down because of their age. But it's more of just understanding if you still single, if you gotten divorces and you 40-something, 50-something years old still looking for a man, you got problems too. But you got to be willing to admit that. We all got problems, trust me. But you can't be ashamed of yours.
Here's a question I would want to ask anybody.
We all got baggage. Go ahead, bro.
If a person has their choice to choose whoever they want to be with, they got a choice. If a man, I don't even say person, if a man has a choice to say, I can pick anybody I want to.
Oh, man, it got my brother.
Oh, man. Devon is losing.
I'm telling you, Vivica really playing hard tonight, man. We're gonna have to send a cease and desist.
Vivica is going in on Devon right now.
Yeah.
But let's get back. Let's go back. Let's go back to the dress size because Shara was talking about dress size don't matter. when he's mentioning the dress size, he's mentioning about saying that most men do not want a big woman. Now, this is one of the things I'm not necessarily agreeing with him with, but I do understand the message to his madness, because he says the average man, the average American man, is 5'10" and 185 pounds. No, I'm sorry, 165 pounds.
Yeah, but you being nice.
The
Man.
average man
I want you to be mean. I want you to be mean right now, because he's saying it, but he's saying it in a different way. He's saying,
well, wait a minute. No, because I'm just going to say how I understand it. Now, if that's the average man, he's probably got a point. It's not my world. I am 6'1", 258 pounds. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not the world I live in. So if that's the average American height, it probably is. For me, a woman 285 don't mean nothing. I will pick you up and give you the rock bottom. It means nothing to me. But I'm not 165 pounds. So maybe that, for me, a lot of the women on his show, I'm like, oh no, yeah, I grab you by your neck. Don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Look at when he make that statement, no different than when doctors make that statement to us too, talking about you up,
that's
you
true.
Out of shape. And
because
just look at it in that
the BMI chart, I'm obese.
Right. So look at it like that and then keep it there. But see, the crazy thing is, a lot of the times when he starts asking those questions, it's more so because of the tone and the way their mentality is. They have this sense of entitlement. So when he says that, like, you can't tell me you 5'4" and you 190 pounds, it's like, you don't need to lower your goddamn standards, because for one, your heavy ass shouldn't even be talking that much. As far as like, well, I gotta have this, I gotta have this. And at the end of the day, it's no disrespect to anybody that's that way. But it's like, at the end of the day, when you come on with all this, well, and I gotta have this, and he gotta be doing this, it's like he's putting things in perspective for you. You're out of shape.
Yes.
You don't make enough money. You have baggage. So why do you deserve all of this with the way you carry yourself? You don't even love yourself enough to be in shape, but yet you think a man should love you like that and give you more.
And there's some women who are in shape and are that big. Look,
right.
In my world,
there's nothing wrong with that.
In my world, I'm built to handle a Jill Scott. I'm built for that. These arms are built for that.
My man said.
And I don't believe that Jill Scott is not I won't say unhealthy, is not exercise. I don't believe that. But according to the BMI chart, is she a big girl? Yeah, she is. That I'm cool with that. At the same time, I like a Jill Scott. I respect Lizzo as an artist, and I know she's talented. I don't like Lizzo. That ain't attractively, that ain't for me. Right. That ain't me. And even if it was, you can't go with me somewhere and have your ass hanging out.
Right.
You can't. That's just me. That's just me. So when he says something about that, he is speaking for me, because I feel that when he say that. I feel that.
Well, watch this. And he even did a show on girls that do fans onlys. And, you know, I honestly thought that he was trying to get them to understand how they're devaluing themselves by putting themselves out there like that. Like, yeah, you're making a lot of money and you're pulling it in quick, but what's the value of it? What is it actually doing to your character? Like, no man is going to really want to be with you, and you show your body and you carry yourself in this manner every day. And that's
a great question. I work with someone who does fans only, and that's my girl. Me and her is like this. She cool as hell, but I see past what she does, and I see her as a person. I don't see her as her, I'm not going to say her stage name. I see her as the person. I see her as her government name.
Right.
Because I see that person. I don't see the stage name. I don't see that. I know girls who are strippers. I know girls who are models. I know girls who do adult movies. I know girls who are actresses. I know girls who are Instagram models. To do this show, you've got to meet a wide swath of people because I like to try to find guests that are interesting. I also know one of the world's top epidemiologists. I also know a world-renowned pastor. I know a lot of different people, but I don't judge them by what they do. I try to judge them as individuals. That's what I try to do. But you are who you present yourself to be to most of the public. So you take what go along with that.
That's right. Your boy said it right. He said Kevin says a lot of the stuff that we talk about in the barbershop. And you know that's true.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man. Like I said, there's a lot that's going to be missed with this, and that's the part to me that I would challenge everybody.
And Tony, you're right. Everyone is not going to be a size 4. Again, I think when he's talking about that, he's talking about it from his image consultant mentality. I don't agree with it, but he's also saying that if you don't want to address how you look and you believe that any way you are, you just gonna track some dude that's making 300 grand. I've seen him say, hey, if you can, terrific. The odds are you're not. So I've never heard him say, everybody swear that they done heard him say, you're 38 and you're gonna be alone forever. I see what he says in specific conversations.
But here's the thing though. See, a lot of, like you said, he speaks to millionaires and a lot of rich people. So at the end of the day, some of these messages is not going to be for everybody. This is a whole different lane.
You get in where you, but even with this show, you get in where you fit in.
You make a certain amount of money, you should be able to sleep with every single woman or any woman you want. A lot of men will never understand or be able to articulate that because you'll never get to that stature in your life. So you shouldn't even discuss it nor talk about it because it's not your lane, period. You got to know what's for you and what's not for you. There are some messages that are for us, and there are some messages that are for people on higher levels than us. And you got to decipher.
Absolutely right. Again, when he gets into the size variances, a lot of that stuff I don't agree with. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have a point. That just means that's not in my wheelhouse because that's not my reality. I don't live the life of a man that's 5'10", 165 pounds. That's not my life.
Right.
But that don't mean he's wrong.
Exactly.
My bad. I was just sitting here listening and watching at the same time, and I'm looking at everything that's being said and everything that's coming out in the comments, and I'm just I'm just. I ain't gonna sound floored by him. It's just I really don't understand how it's how he said it. It went from what he said to now it's not what he said, it's how he said it. So at what point are we gonna just say, all right, understand that the man was not as bad as y'all think he was? That's it. Like he was not as bad. Look, was he a saint? Absolutely not.
No.
Did he get caught with a girl that was opposite of what he wanted, what he said that you should be? Probably, but let's be fair. And
but he didn't say what he wanted. He said what his clientele say they want.
Right, but he was saying we're going to take it as far as he was speaking about the people in his group that what he wanted. But let's be clear.
He did.
The person who he was with, he wasn't going to marry.
Nope.
Let's be honest. He was really just doing what Shara would have done, what Tony have done, what Keisha has done, what most women in here have done. They saw somebody who was fine and they wanted to fuck him. Let's be 100. Let's stop bullshit. That's probably what it was. Now we've all been there. We've all done it. So let's not play like holier than thou. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
We've all been.
Let's address this real quick because I like Sharan says that I think she's talking about me. Me and Kevin, we deliver the same message, but I do it in a less palpable and in a more palpable and less insulting way. I know a lot of people that would probably disagree with that, but let's just check this out. I don't get to have the delivery that Kevin Samuels have, but you know what? That doesn't mean that we don't need flamethrowers because Malcolm X was a flamethrower. Martin Luther King was not a flamethrower. Khalid Muhammad was a flamethrower. We need that. There is a brother on YouTube right now named Professor Black Truth. This brother flames Negroes and mainstream Negroes in media because he's a media analyst and he runs the underground black media, and he tears, if you mainstream, he tears you to pieces, and it is not in a loving way. It is not in a nice way. He brings the point home. He brings the point home hard. That ain't for everybody, but that don't mean it's not needed. Kevin Samuels isn't for everybody, but that don't mean that his delivery was not needed. Excuse me, because you had a Derek Jackson that was spoon feeding you and giving you the porridge, nice and soupy and smooth. He said, "Oh, you're gonna do it that way. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm coming with a flamethrower and a sledgehammer." And you know what? That's okay too.
But make it very clear that wasn't his first approach right off the rip.
Sure,
he wasn't coming right off the top of the show throwing flames. He come in wanting to hear you. He gonna go off of your energy, your energy match, your energy flow. You answering because, like I said, everybody knows the way the show works at this point.
Tony, I disagree. Dress size should be part of the commentary, especially if you're living a lifestyle that could be hazardous to your health.
Here's the thing, bro. Let's say this. Let's say this. We could say dress size shouldn't matter. She could pull a high value man. That depends on the high value man. There are high value men who would love to be with Tony. So I'm not saying, look, dress size should not be in the conversation depending on the man. Kevin Samuels spoke depending on the man who he's been in contact with. Now,
no doubt, exactly.
All high value men only want this. No, there are no absolutes when it comes to who I'm deciding to be with. This day I could want me. I could say I could want Nia Long this day and want Lupita Nyong'o tomorrow. I could want Lizzo today and want Maya next week. So it all depends on what my preference is.
But now, here's the thing though. When he brought in dress size, that was after he found out what they were looking for. Exactly. As far as the amount of money, as far as the type of lifestyle they wanted to live, as far as the kind of home, if they were going to work or not. So basically, when he brought in dress size, that was his way of saying, okay, so you don't work out, so you're not in shape, you're not in any type of physical shape, because he wouldn't come out and just say you're fat. He would just say, okay, so you're overweight. And then what kills me, which I love, all these women that love to wear their bonnets all over the place, the most embarrassing shit ever, but they rationalize
and he hated that.
All that type of
and
shit.
He hated that. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into this. Dress sizes shouldn't matter, but if I met you and you're a 10 and I fell in love with you and we got married, and then you decided to say, hell, dress sizes don't matter, and you went to a 19, and I don't like that 19, don't you think I got a right to have a problem with that?
Exactly.
You have
but the women will tell you no.
Yeah, you have people that will look at that and say that's shallow because you fell in love with me, not my appearance.
Yeah, I felt it. I love the inside of the book, but goddamn it, the book cover was dope as hell too. And I looked at the book cover before I cracked the book open.
No doubt.
And it goes vice versa though. It's like at the end of the day,
no doubt. No, that doesn't excuse me. I don't get to if you like me like this and we get married, that don't mean I get to let myself go. Right. I don't get to go from Booker T to Biggie Smalls. I don't get to do that.
Fair enough. But yeah, I just think that I'm still in awe about we've played 2 clips. We ain't played 1 clip of Kevin Samuels going in on women.
Nope.
But we played 2 clips of him going in on women. And I'm waiting to hear on men.
And they still own the women.
Yeah.
It's and they still own the women.
but it lets you know what they're focused on. They just don't like him at this point. And that's clear, and that's fine. But at the same time, now that he's gone, let that hate out your heart. Like I said, I would encourage other people to actually go back on some of these shows and just actually try to see if you can see a different perspective now. Because at the end of the day, it don't even matter.
And Shara, I agree. Being single isn't a punishment or a curse. I'm single and I love it. But again, the people that he's talking to, he's not asking them, do you wish to be single forever? He asked them what they want, and they all say they want to be married. That's the whole point of them calling in.
Not to mention, if Shara is actually honest, she'll know that the majority of women usually lie when they say they don't want to be in a relationship. It's bullshit. They just haven't found that relationship. They've gone through enough to where they're like, I'm just not looking. But at the end of the day, it don't mean you don't want a relationship. It just means you're not seeking the way you once were. But you still want to be with somebody. Shit, I know that because the woman I'm with, I
don't understand why you're never going to get me to agree with Kevin at all. I'm not asking you to agree. We're asking you to just weigh it out. Again, no one's asking you to agree.
No.
Just weigh it out. You can't, the man ain't the devil. All we're saying is weigh it out. You can't tell me that the man ain't got some points.
But listen to this too, though. You also already said you just don't like him. So you should already understand, like, there's nothing anybody can do or say to change your opinion. You're jaded. That automatically just makes you jaded to this whole situation. But like I said, I encourage you to at least look at some other things that he's done and, see what it is. But I don't know. It's up to you.
For sure. And while Devon is trying to get back in, let's go ahead and we're going to go into our next clip, because we gave you the men and y'all glossed dead over that. So let's go ahead and just give y'all what you wanted and what y'all gonna be mad at. This is Kevin Samuels dealing with a female caller.
Still won't stop.
Well, those statistics are not. Those numbers are not helping my everyday, day-to-day interaction. In real life, I'm at the grocery stores. I'm in.
Well, how about you talking about you now? Now we talk about you. Well, if I asked your husband why y'all divorced, what would he tell me?
Domestic violence.
Okay. How often did you beat his ass?
No, I'm the victim, and I'm okay with that. It was a growing pain. I thank God I got out alive.
And how long you been divorced?
For 2 years.
2 years. How long were y'all married?
For about 7 months.
7 months. Now hold on. I know I got a new calculator, but you got kids that are like in their 20s.
Right.
About 2 different guys, or about one?
About one.
Why didn't you marry him?
The last one?
No, the one that impregnated you once or twice.
Oh, he went to jail.
Oh, so you pick ass whoopers and felons, and then you're gonna complain about I need you to stop right here, ma'am. I need you to slow the whole. I need you to slow the whole French toast down. I'm not gonna let you get on here and talk about what black men are not when you pick and dudes that whoop your ass and are felons. See, I'm not gonna sit around and let you black women just sit around and talk about hey, black men ain't here and they ain't this, they ain't that, when in your own life you pick shit. Yeah, take a nice strong drink, sip it all. Cause you're talking about black men to share my reflection, and I'm tired of sisters like you running our reputation in the ground because you pick poorly.
A black man.
No, no. You had 20 million to pick from, but you picked a felon once to have 2 babies by and then Ike Turner. All these black people in Atlanta. Why are you picking these scrubs?
That's what's left.
If you don't get off my goddamn
Aside
phone.
From the married
get off my phone. I don't want to keep it. That's what's left, huh? That's what's left. The black Mecca. And all your WAP seems to attract is felons and abusers. Then you need to put that shit in get some maintenance done.
Outside, there are some good men.
Well, why don't you attract them? Then why don't you date them?
I don't. It's difficult. It's like a needle in a haystack.
No, it's not a needle in a haystack. I live here.
Yes, it is.
I live here, and I date good black women. No, why can't you see? Let me back down, ma'am. Relationships are reflective. We attract what we are. When I was broken, I attracted broken. And see, what I'm having a problem with is you are trying to make black men the problem, and you are definitely problematic.
All right. Now, y'all got a dose, and it wasn't a nice dose. We didn't cherry pick something where he was all sweet and cuddly. That was the average type of call from that Kevin Samuels have with somebody. What was the problem there?
Please
Besides,
explain.
she needs to do some self-reflection.
Hey, my man said, but you keep saying black men, and that's why I'm not gonna let you do this to us. And she got quiet and said, it's the black men. It's the black men.
Yes.
And it's like, that's why I said, all he tries to do is help people to understand, take responsibility for the things in your life. That's men and women, period. You got to be responsible for the choices you make in your life. So if you pick two bad dudes, stop saying that these dudes is bad. Your judgment is bad. Maybe you need to stop sleeping with dudes before you actually really know them.
Hey, Yvonne is telling you hi and giving you the lovey eyes. You must be
That's
a
my
good
girl.
black man.
I love Yvonne. But that's all I'm saying, man. It's just, it don't make sense that we choose it. And like I said, it's just society nowadays. Everybody wants to make something somebody else's fault. We never gonna own what we do. You mess around a woman that say, "Oh, man, it's bad," but she messed around and had 4 babies by 3 different baby daddies. So
right.
Is it fair to say that she's a hoe?
Dealing with that caller, that caller had 2 children by a dude that went to jail. So you knew he was crooked when you was dealing with him, and that was cool. Then you got an abusive dude. Now, we are not okaying the dude for being abusive.
No, not at all.
That's wrong. We are not okaying some dude being heavy-handed to a female.
Not at all.
But like he said, now you're getting on his show and you're calling, you trying to dog out the brothers when you picked this dude. Mm-hmm. Now, at some point, you have to say you picked him. And we all have to do that. Look. Most people on this show know what happened to my children. And at the end of the day, one of the last things I can only say is I picked her and opened myself up to let her do what she did to my kids. So I still have to take some responsibility for picking that idiot.
Yeah.
But I also looked in the mirror, thought about that, and then did my damnedest to pick better. I don't hate all black women for what she did.
Right.
So come on, I know y'all upset, so go on and give it to us.
So you know what was funny? She switched it up last minute too. She said, "That's all that's out there," and then he didn't let her get away with that. Hey, and then he got to her, and she was like, "But it's not that many out there. It's like a needle in a haystack."
Then she made it personal. That's all I see. Well, can your ass look? Hey man, look. What's up, Yvonne? Look, I say that because
and welcome to the show. That is definitely a new face. Christy is a new face on here.
No. I was saying, what's up, Yvonne? Because I saw you a comment, Yvonne.
Yeah.
And she said Kevin was full of shit. Okay.
Yes, Tony, she had bad judgment. So why are we beating up Kevin? Because that's the average way that his calls go.
Let me ask a question. Kevin's full of shit because he told people what they didn't want to hear, or is he full of shit because he didn't put it in a good way? Is he full of shit because he gave his opinion? Is he full of shit? What was he a fraud? I don't think so. He never said he went to school to do anything. The man, I mean, he was an image consultant, which explains why he talked about image so much. What I'm trying to figure out, what is it that made him full of shit? And it's crazy because I'm sorry, ladies. There's no validity behind what y'all saying. I'm sorry. It's all emotional. It's all
how you feel.
It's all coming from an emotional place. Like
I know
I know from this point, moving forward, a lot of people may feel a particular way about things I say, and that might be why I keep getting cut out. But that's fine. I'm cool with that. But the thing is, everything is emotional. You ask Kevin what's going on. Well, I just don't like him. Well, why? You can't get. I don't like how he talk to women. Okay, what does he say? Does he say things that is? I mean, are we saying it's not that he say things that's not true? It's how we say it. So you just admitted what he said is true. So you can't say you don't like what he said. You just don't like how he said it.
Right.
That's what I'm like. I'm
right.
Not
but here's the other crazy part. There are tons of videos where Alana Van Zant goes in on sisters hard.
Oh yeah.
There's tons of videos where Judge Maybelline would go in on sisters hard, but y'all fine with that.
Hold on, what about Oprah and Gail? They used to do the same thing. Oprah and Gail would do the same thing.
He didn't put women down. I'm sorry, I'm reading it. Look, I wouldn't say he put women down. He put a mirror in front of them and said, open your eyes and look at the truth. I'm not saying he was calling women ugly or nothing like that. He said, look, if you want everything that you say you want, this 6-figure man, put this up in front of you and say, would you get you a 6-figure man? Don't even say that's just one caller. Okay, cool.
That wasn't we showed a longer clip of him tearing dudes up. And soon as we show one, that's just one caller.
That's just one caller. That's what typical women do.
He has
and that's why they don't learn. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is the reason why a lot of women keep getting fucked over by men, keep getting fucked, keep getting taken advantage of, because you're too busy thinking you know it all instead of just listening. You're gonna keep going through certain situations because the education is there. You have the life experience.
Goes right out the window.
Here's the problem. Even if we did a part 2 and showed a bunch of other clips, you're not gonna accept what he's saying.
Nope.
You only gonna accept the part about him. Look, first off, let's be clear, man. A man could tell you straightforward 100%. This is the problem. You won't hear it. You're gonna interpret it into what you believe the problem is. Though he's telling you straightforward. Listen, this is the problem. Nope, that ain't it. It got to be something else. How we know? We did a show about that not too long ago and gave a clip where a dude said, "Hey, this is the problem." Y'all, some women, because I don't want to say all. Some women called in and said all these things like, nah, he was lying. That wasn't it. He just said that because of this, and this. And we like, but he's telling you. That's what I don't understand. He's literally telling you this is what it is.
We're talking about humiliation and criticism. I'm gonna just put it out there. It wasn't too many shows ago where somebody said that black men were walking disappointments.
Whoa, we talking
the fact that you can even make that statement.
That said black men were walking disappointments, and me and this brother had to sit there and take that on the chin because we were there, were we not?
We were sitting there and heard it loud and clear.
And it's not the first time you've heard that. It's not the first time you've been confronted with stuff like that.
And you know what's crazy though? How many people backed what the fuck what's her name? The unfunny female comedian. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one who's really not funny.
You talking about Kevin Hart's girl?
Oh, for you, you're talking about booty hole.
Tiffany Haddish. I was talking about. That's what
how many women got on there? Hey, Sydney, how many people got on there and was literally, what she said about Will, and that's what I would do, and woo wop the bam. Walking, we talking about embarrassment and all of this. How many people was like, that's what he should have did? That was a fucking embarrassing moment, not just for him, for his family.
What about the black family?
Y'all and clap that shit. Let's be 100. And yet this man is saying, We're not asking people to go out here and do X, Y, and Z. I'm not. He has Kevin Hart. Kevin Samuels has not once said date you a drug dealer because he got money. He never once said deal with a nigga that's gonna kick your ass. He's never once told you don't fuck with bums. He's telling you that. So why is it he shouldn't talk? He talked too mean to this one lady when he had a show where he told a dude, you are fucked up. And it's not the woman's problem. We breeze all the way past that and go straight to he called her fat. Man, hey man, look.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to understand that at the stages of people's lives that are talking to him, you've come too far to come soft with them. You got to go harder because you done got to this stage of your life still talking dumb like you in your
some people can do that. Some people don't. Again, it's how you choose to take it. Again, first off, the reason that most of y'all is taking it this way is because you're seeing the caller and somehow you're seeing in all of them calls, you're seeing something of yourself in there. And you're taking it personal. Because when he went in on them dudes, I ain't see me.
No.
And I said, I've taken, we've mentored young men and we've had these conversations. Bro, you in California, so you don't get to do this. But like twice a year, me and this brother get together with a whole bunch of dudes and we have what we call man dinners. And we go out to a restaurant and have a steak and kick it. And all we do is have these conversations.
So my question is, because even I'm looking at this comment right here, and my whole thing is, so when do we take in consideration people are calling into these shows knowing that this happens? So the funny thing is, we're going to continue to give him the blame for whatever he says and how he says it. But we're not going to take in consideration these people know what they're getting themselves into.
They're calling and asking. So maybe they appreciate what he's saying because you are calling him.
Thank you. I'm telling you, man, there's just going to be excuses all the time.
But I love everybody's comments.
No, hell yeah, because it gives you a better perspective of how people are seeing things. Yeah, see, and he's right.
Yeah. Again, you just she picked two bad dudes and put it all on us, and then was gonna take all of us down. And then when he said that I'm not accepting that and went in, y'all still found a problem with it.
And that's the thing. Don't say was gonna take all of us down. She did take all of us down. She said that's all black men. And it's like, damn. So because of your choices, because of the people you chose, you gonna loop us all into that one.
Right.
It just don't make no sense.
I'll say this, ladies, and y'all can go in on me.
Right, Nick.
A woman should only get her ass whooped one time because all it should take is one time, and then you should leave the dude alone. But at the same time, when young people argue, when couples argue, couples have that one bad fight, have that one real bad moment where you say some stuff you don't mean, and it goes bad. So maybe you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Again, couples who have made it 30, 40, 50 years of marriage, you're not going to tell me they ain't never had no real bad fights.
You won't find one. Look, and that's the deflection. We just go. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm not gonna be mean to him because he's dead. At the end of the day, rest in peace. But life goes on. that's how you deflect from the situation,
right? But it's not about being a follower. I don't follow the dude, but I respect the dude. I respect the dude's opinions, even if I don't agree with it. I can disagree without being disagreeable. But the same thing. There's some women out there who go in on dudes. That don't mean everything that they say is wrong. But here's something that's funny. There are some sisters out there who give positive affirmation to men, and they get drugged in the comment section of their own platforms. They get drugged. Kimberly Reed is one of them. Sister is awesome. She gets drugged in the comment section for giving love to black men. So what's the problem with that?
By who? Who does she get drugged by more?
Other women.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But you know one thing I love about tonight's show, and what's the most amazing, most powerful part about tonight's show? Not one of us was advocating and telling them that they should love him, that they should be listening to him, that we just basically pointed out some facts. We didn't say you need to be a fan of him.
No one is no one is the number one person in his fan club. Nobody.
Right.
We saying here's the plate, eat the fish and spit out the bones. It ain't all bones. You keep telling me his plate is nothing but bones, but there's a lot of meat there. It's like catfish, and y'all love catfish, but y'all have no problems wading through all them bones to eat that delicious catfish. He's catfish. Put some hot sauce on it and take it in your life.
But I'll tell you like this, though, and with all of this that happened, I would just say, let this be a moment where now you open your eyes a little bit more. You're a little bit more open to other things, other people's opinions. It's not, like I said, I always tell people, when people are giving me their stories and how they feel about certain things, I'm going to listen to it. If it don't apply to me, shit going to roll off my shoulders. I'm going to keep it moving. But if it do, I'm going to hold on to it. I'll tell you, the best thing you could do when you're having a conversation, you don't agree with somebody.
Ass whoop. I'm never advocating for some woman to get her ass whooped. No man should ever be putting his hands on no female.
Hey, the first thing you should do when you don't agree with somebody is say, "Oh man, you know, I never looked at it from that." You'd be like, "I had never looked at it from that perspective." But okay, you know, I don't see it, but I'm gonna look more into that instead of trying to deny it right away. Like, nah, that ain't right. That ain't, because at the end of the day, it's not about getting your point across. Just be willing to listen to knowledge and whatever anybody can have to offer.
Catch what he's saying. And you don't have to agree, but you're not gonna sit there and say that everything he said was pure vitriol. You're not going to sit there and say that everything that the man said was pure hell.
Right.
Now Yvonne can't stand catfish. Fine, Yvonne, then it's neck bones. It's still some meat in that neck bone. Look for it.
When I was getting back in, I had to just comment on. When he said that, damn, I had it right on my tip, and I was just clapping my ass off over here, man. He was like, he said if it don't bother me, if it ain't pertaining to me, I'll let that shit roll off the back of my head. Like, it don't bother me. That hit dog, bro. I'm sorry. That hit dog mentality, man. I'm sorry. Motherfuckers can hate me. I don't care. But that whole, I just don't get it. Especially when it's if something does not pertain to you, then why does it affect you? And I'm not saying that like because then you'll get the whole, well, what about black people altogether? I get it. I understand that. But if he's speaking to us, that one caller on that one phone with that one person, because every call was different. He didn't approach that one dude like he approached the other girl. He didn't approach that other girl like he approached the dude that he called a virgin. Every call was different. But you know what y'all heard? Y'all heard him call all women fat. Y'all heard him call all women desperate. Y'all heard him call all women. That's not what he did. Because
and let's face it, black women don't like to hear about watching their weight at all. Sorry, that's facts.
Yeah, you gonna strike some chords with that one, bro. But
I know he tried to hit it right like close to the end of the show too.
Like, I mean, look. Are we look? Every dude on this panel right now, bro. And let's be clear. We can sit here and look at each other and say, yo, I know I got my faults. I never say I'm perfect. Now, let's be clear. How many women will sit up here and mean that they know they have their faults? They'll say it because it sounds good. Let's be 100. It sounds good to say, yeah, I know I'm part of this, that. But you will. I don't want to
make excuses. Right, they will make excuses in a heartbeat for the problems they have in their life. And that's just typical.
Now, real quick, bro, because we have done this, and I know my computer's been going in and out, and we got to do this joint. Y'all always saying Kevin Samuels felt a particular way about everything, about his people and this, that, and the third, and he only looked out for, and he only talked about black women and this, that, and the third. But as we get ready to exit the show, I want y'all, we, all three of these, me and these two brothers here, we want y'all to hear this last part, and we really want y'all to not give us, but take this with you since you're passing your judgment on Kevin Samuels. But
all right, so are you saying we finna wrap this puppy up?
Yeah, man, because I don't want my shit to die, and I really want to get his tagline out, bro. But go ahead.
All right, bet it up. Hey, Chris, thank you, bro, for being on the show. Absolutely wonderful. We gonna do this again. You came through in the clutch as usual, man. And we love you, bro. We love you a lot.
Like I said, man, y'all are my bros forever, man. I really love everything that you guys do, and just like I said, just keep being who you are, man. Like they gonna see it, they gonna hear it. Trust me, you guys are gonna keep doing this thing, and it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. But thank you, always keep allowing me to come on this show because I'm telling you, it get me back to my roots, and you know how much I love doing this. So I just appreciate you guys for having me tonight.
Yeah,
thank you, sir.
And your shirt's coming, bro. I promise.
Hey, yeah.
Your shirt's coming.
I got it. Look, I
I'm
told him I'm putting the dust off my shirt since I ain't got to wear it yet. So I said, put the iron on it and got that thing on tonight. We ready.
No, we gonna get you this new one. We gonna get you this new one we got coming. This one here. We gonna get you that.
I need that.
I'm getting that.
I need that.
Yeah, I got you.
There you go. And
right,
hey, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Man, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. I know this was a tough show, but you hung with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave y'all with Kevin's message. He's gonna close out the show, but we're gonna let you know that if you're not watching the Truth Brothers,
then the truth ain't in you.
Again, live long and prosper, people.
Peace. 2 fingers. Love y'all.
I need to really say this. I take no particular pride or pleasure in doing shows like this because I know it triggers certain black women. I know they do. I know some of them get pissed. I've heard women on YouTube saying things that they don't watch the show end to end. And I'm not going to, and that's not going to change anything because there are far more women and far women who are listening. And who are the recipients? The women who listen end to end and are saying, well, you've changed my life. You've helped me look at this way or that way. Those women are benefiting. And guarantee when those women come into contact with men doing something, they all benefit. We're better off working with each other, trying to understand one another. You know, none of us are perfect. Certainly not me. I ain't shit. I got a lot of problems. It's like anybody else. We all got issues. But it's like Ice Cube. When the brother steps up to do something, support. Find ways to support. Even if you have an issue with something it's doing, can you find 4 or 5 things about it that you like before you start off with the one thing you don't like? Because you cannot keep painting black men in this ain't shit box. They don't all fit there. And brothers are starting to push back and say, no, 51% of us are single and childless and 64% in the middle class. They're here. Can you interact with them just in a peaceful, civil way? If you never get married and never have kids, can you have a higher quality of life? Can you just be happy? Can you stop walking through life with your hands up ready to fight the reflection of you, the opposite sex reflection of you? I don't walk through life looking at black women as though they're my enemy. And I would hope that for the black women who this applies, you stop walking through life assuming that black men are somebody to challenge, somebody to overcome, to struggle against. We don't need that.